Hello BookTube, welcome back. Today I'll be doing some manga reviews. This video will be a bit of a vlog because I'll be filming in different locations as I finish some of these volumes. But I'm going to start out today with The Voynich Hotel. This is by Doman Saman. I happened to get 2 volumes at work, which I borrowed. That's why the stickers are still on there. I'm not too big of a fan of these black-eyed characters. I don't know, they just lack personality when they do that. But anyway, I was kind of intrigued by it. I'll just read you a little bit of the synopsis in the back. It just says, after a series of tragic events, Taizo decides to make a break with his past and go on vacation to the tiny island nation of Blefusco. Anyway, little does he know that this hotel is a hotspot for contract killers, drug dealers, ghosts, and a coven of immortal witches. So much for rest and relaxation. To be honest, the main reason I picked it up and what intrigued me was the tagline on the back, which says, you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. If you're a fan of the Eagles, you know that's right out of Hotel California, one of my favorite songs. And I thought, ooh, it sounds kind of creepy. Yeah, this was creepy in a different way. I barely got through volume 1. I was so close to DNFing this so many times. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. This main character, Taizo, he's got some kind of secret past. You find out kind of by the end of volume 1 about who he is and everything, and why he's kind of trying to leave his past. But he shows up at the hotel at the very beginning, and for whatever reason, I'm not even sure exactly, just kind of passes out and ends up in the hotel. There's lots of very weird characters. It mentions drug dealers, there's assassins. Right after he passes out, it switches scenes. It keeps jumping from different little vignettes of the other characters that are at the hotel, including these hitmen that there's, I guess, a ferry ground or something that's been closed for a while that's off in the distance, and there's a sharpshooter and he kills some people there, and you're like, okay, who are they? What was that about? Then they jump to the drug dealers, and one of them's actually an undercover agent who's more into the drugs than trying to capture the people that she's investigating. And it's like, okay, and it was all over the place. I don't even know what the heck the plot was gearing towards, other than it's a crazy hotel with a bunch of weird people that I don't really care about, including the main character. There are countless references, trigger warning here, to pooping and puking in an attempt at humor. I'm not really sure. Wasn't funny, just disgusting. The artwork, again, wasn't super great. I mean, like, lack of character, you know. Either they've just got plain white eyes, or the black eye design, they almost started to look alike. It was just awful. Like I said, I could barely get through volume 1. I'm not even gonna bother with volume 2. I'm returning these to the store right away. But that's kind of my thought of this one, The Voynich Hotel. A big letdown, other than the tagline on the back, which drew me in. I wish it was something more spooky, something along the lines of like Hotel California, that feeling you get if you've listened to the song. But yeah, a big letdown. So I'll be back with my next manga review. The next manga I finished was 6 volumes of Love of Kill by F.E. Apparently that's the mangaka's name. I saw on Goodreads there's like 13 of these out currently, but unfortunately the person who sold these to us only sold us the first 6, but I'm really enjoying it. This is volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and volume 6. I really like the artwork. I think that's kind of what drew me to it at first. And it features our main characters. This is Ryung Ha-sung and Chateau Dankworth. And they are basically assassins. When I first started reading volume 1, it definitely reminded me of Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Both of them kind of battling against each other, but then eventually kind of falling in love. That's sort of how this is going and playing out, although Ryung is more interested in Chateau than Chateau is in Ryung, although as the story is progressing, we're seeing a bit of change in there. But it had some really great fight scenes in the beginning when they're encountering each other. I love the color scenes in the beginning. Let's see if I can find a really good one there. Ooh. Yeah, like here's like, are you running out of bullets yet? Let's talk. But yeah, definitely that feel of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So basically, Ryung is a like top-notch assassin. He's kind of wanted by many of the various organizations. They all kind of want to take him down. And eventually these two encounter each other, and he starts kind of killing off her targets for her, you might say, kind of forcing her into a cooperation, or, you know, working together. It's not something she wants, but he seems to be just kind of constantly turning up, and they're forming this relationship in more ways than one, but much to her consternation. I love the action and the storyline. There's hidden secrets on both of these characters. One has a past they don't quite remember, sort of locked away from some traumatic past. Another one is not who they are pretending to be, but they have a kind of unified past, a connection somewhere that hasn't been quite completely revealed yet up to volume 6. It's sort of hinted at. We know there's something going on, and we'll see kind of flashbacks throughout at least first 6 volumes to some of their past. There are other organizations that are trying to, I think, enlist Ryung to work for them, or kidnapping him and stuff for events that took place in the past. But as you're reading it, it kind of draws you in. The one thing that did bug me though is with the character Chateau. At first she seems like quite the strong character. I mean, she's an assassin, for gosh sakes. But then through these 6 volumes, it seems like Ryung is constantly having to kind of like come to her rescue or come to her aid, and it's like, oh, come on, she's not a damsel in distress. She's an assassin, for God's sakes. But overall, I did definitely enjoy what I've read so far. I would like to continue, especially because where I'm at right now is starting to reveal some interesting past on particularly Chateau when she was a small little girl. And that's about where we're getting the tie-in between the two characters and their past. So I'm really hoping I could track down some more volumes of this one, but I definitely enjoyed it, so I definitely recommend that one. And the next one I'm going to pick up is one that came in very, very recently. It's a horror manga called PTSD Radio Volume 1. It's just a super creepy cover. I really like the book. It's got like these raised images and stuff on there. And I'll just read the synopsis here. It just says, the cult horror hit from the creator of Fuan no Tan, whatever. Anyway, it says, it's an unseen hand tugs at your braid. You find an old sealed box with a tangled mess of dark hair inside. In the hallway outside your room, a river of curls is slinking away, an ominous lump at its heart. It won't be long before you feel Oguchi-sama's fingers slithering across your scalp. Before it's too late, tune into PTSD Radio. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds very weird. There are some super huge weird images on some of the pages, but from what I can see, I definitely like the artwork. Where's that one I saw before? It seems super spooky. I love a good horror manga. Yeah, I think it's definitely got the creeps. Yeah, I'll report back and see how it does. But that's currently what I'm reading manga-wise. We are still constantly getting more and more manga into the shop. So, oh, I forgot to mention, this is by Masaki Nakayama. Right there. But we're constantly getting all sorts of new volumes and series and stuff being sold to us lately. And it's been great because I've been able to sample quite a few different ones. So, hope you find some of these intriguing enough. Maybe want to give them a try. If you've read any really good manga lately, let me know what you've been reading. And I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.